Sparkling stars soon reveal. Sparkling stars soon reveal. Shifting breeze, the ever will. Hold that sentimental light and let the love consume you. In the night, but never the morning. Will the dreams aspire to keep it burning? Guard the fire for the hill, the feel, to hold the hand and never let it go. For the heart, for the you and over the end of the you. Sunsets and silver, leaving dust, loving trails and chanting words. I say I do for the honor and love and you for the proof I can be with you. Falling in love with the only the stylist is golden, believing it's true for the heart of the courage. You are the flame in my candle for the light of the darkness. You the flowers to make my heart full of the blue. You were the butterfly, the flicker, the stomach of the day. For the butterfly, effectively before the day's gone. You were the star for the shimmering and the shine. For the eye beating for the silence, and I can say I love you. And I would what it's in me to you. So it makes me whole. It's like my heart forever. My paradise, my house is wide. Mountains tall enough to go inside of me. I love most of all. Whether it was falling, still standing on the edge. And the toes hanging on my side. Wind blows me through west. I can find relaxation causing me to lean toward the void. All around me for the air, the voice whispers me. Beautiful nothing, with the hair, for the words, for the eyes, for the with the hands, for the breath, rapid around me, for my head still, for the memories, for the doors. Press against mine, baby, the sun, for the man of the mind. The little matter, for the feeling, the forward. I can fall in love with you, my whole direction, the feeling, for the revenue, rushing, not the actual fine. The feeling makes me fly, heaven, enough to fly. Flying, say I'm flying. There's nothing that can stop me now, but the hearing voice is telling me who wants to occupy the things to get around. Just to see the to realize that I need to do over the ones I can lay there, broken, hurt, crying. The drive for the need to let me live, and I can make another little to make me fall in love with you. You have intention to catch me, then you come along for the minute to brokenness. I can find that feeling with the cup of my feet. Before I know now I'm top of the business. Find it for the wind that blows and find the moon wings and push me off to the edge. By this time I can brace myself. Sign for the round field, for the getting in the hurt for the second time, for this be the third, for the fourth, for the five, for the recall the rhyme. And I can hear the voice for the calling me for the repetitive, for the words just the way I slowly from the final side. Picture that for the times and how many hours, how many held you for the cry, for the tuck and stuck by myself, for the no one else and you can find the hurt. That for the day, for the whisper. Why do you flirt? Why you drift off to sleep with the one night? Why be the river the other tip of the falling asleep with the holding me, for the yet again for the doesn't want to be, for the brokenness instead of that for the arms and you can lay your heart. Here for the poem, here for the song, here for the rhythm, here for the dance, here for the listen to my heart, for the bromance, for the screaming of your name, for the eyes that never fix the pain, for the love that never disappear, for the way, for the words that save me, even to let go. And I can find that for the love you grow. Maybe the gently on with the face of the bit in the mind under your ways. Tears left me in a place where the wide beneath my cheeks always knew that I would find ways someday, for the wave, for the head of the wave, for the caught off guard, for the maybe despised, and maybe the captivating in the real, for the when I look into your eyes and I should see the true good, for the perfect gift, for the better piece above, for the talent, for the intelligence, for the maybe the negligence. Finding perfect enough for the perfect, the maybe the imperfect with the person perfectly good enough for the flaws and view of the eyes. When you're upset enough for the wrinkle in time, wrinkle the same for this to be the brain, for the moon, for the no, for the journey, for the shore, for the nothing to do, for the wounded, to find it for the sacred, enough for the scared, broken heart, heartbroken for the sacred, maybe the scared for the thought, for the losing you, maybe by the end for that you could be the manifestation for the better perfect. I believe for this to be the best treasure, hurt for the heart, for the saying enough for the ground. Tomorrow's going, but God is only one who knows who you know that like a thief for the night, for the treasure, my heart for the one that you brought my whole life is complete. I find that for the feeling for the truth, just because I know that passing doesn't belong to the close relevant, but I have ever did the first time. I can find something celibate, time to go, you're mine, so for the bringing us together for the beautiful time. I can find that for the patient wait, day, wait, precious moment, time for the find for the right thing to say. It's your word for the one for the be forever, for the remembrance. It doesn't matter if the precious is new, beautiful enough for the precious day, but the people look into your eyes and say, I love you again. Sparkling stars, soon shifting breeze, the ever will. If that sentimental light, let the love consume. In the night, never the dreams aspire to keep it burning. Guard the fire for the head, the feel, the hold the hand that never let it go, for the heart, for the people know for the broken, the hammer, sunsets and sills and leaving dust, trails and chanting words. I say I do for the honor and love of I can be with you. Falling in love with the only the silence is golden, believing is true for the heart, for the curring of you. You are the flame in my candle, for the light, for the darkness of the room, for the scented flowers to make my heart full, for the balloon, for the you are the butterfly, the flick for the stomach for the day, for the butterfly effect for the before the day is gone. You are the star for the shimmering and the shine, for the eye to be together silence, and I can say I love you, but enough of what does it mean to you? So it makes me whole, excite my heart forever. My paradise, my ocean's wide, mountains tall enough for the golden silence, and my love most of all for the most. Whatever it was for the falling, but still standing on the edge, and his toes hanging off the side. Wind blows sweetly, rustling over my confined relaxation, causing me to lean toward the void. All around me for the air, the voice whispering, beautiful enough for the hair, for the close, for the eyes, for the feeling with the hand, for the knee, that for the wrapping around me, for the head is filled with the memory, for the
your lips pressed against mine. Maybe the sun for the manner for the mind. Even for the matter for the feeling and falling in line. And fall in love with you. The most exuberant feeling for the devil rush of it. So not the exit fine. Super for the make me lightheaded and left me flying. Flying, say I'm flying. There's nothing that can stop me now. But to hear the voice is telling me once, and I can find the leaves hit the ground. This is seen to materialize it underneath the once, and I can lay there, looking her, trying, keep it private to me, to let me live, and I can think of the rhythm to make me fall in love with you, but they have any intention to catch me. Then you come along for the man and for the wilderness. I can find that for the moment to help my feet. Before I know it, I'm on top of the building. You can find it for the wind that blows in my wings and push me off to the edge. By this time, I can brace myself. It's time for the round field, getting in the river the second time. For this, for the third, for the fourth, for the fifth, for the recall, for the rhyme, and I can hear the voice really calling me for the preventative, for the witches, so where I lowly, slowly, for the finest side. Picture that for the times and how many hours. How many held you for the cry, for the tuck, and stuck by myself, for the no one else, and you can find I heard that for the day, for the whisper. Why do you flirt? Why you drift off to sleep at the one night? Why be the river, the other tip of the falling asleep with the holding people? Yet again, for the doesn't want to be for the brokenness instead of that for the arms, and you can lay your heart here for the poem, here for the song, here for the rhythm, here for the dance, here for the listen to my heart, for the romance, for the screaming of your name, for the I see never fix the pain, for the love that never disappear, for the way, for the words to say, but even to let go. And I can find that for the love you grow. Maybe the gently on with the face of the pen and the mind on your ways. Tears left me. Love you because I love you. I go from loving to not loving you. I do not love you because I love you. I go from loving to not loving you. I do not love you because I love you. I go from loving to not loving you. Waiting is not waiting for you. I love you because you're the one I love. Hate you deeply and hating you. Been to you for the measure of the change of love for you. It's that I do not see for the but love for you blindly. Maybe, with January light will consume my heart until it's cruel. Maybe the rate for the stealing my key to true calm. This is a part of the story with a narrative. Who dies and this will be the one. And I would die for the love because I love you. Because I can have fire in my blood. It was everything that burned for the rising of the phoenix, and I shall rise and stain. This is the dream grow for the come one day for the wave of love. Tender is due for the find the rain, for the time, for the sun will be your skin, for the purple, the breezing, and murmuring of speech. I be the pose and have the follow. You be the grace that will come for the your slim. Express arm for the poise of your head, for the sculpture just caught my number, for the one that's spoken, for the shoulder, for the neck. Face that, for the thyroid gland. Many for the sky, for the delicate choice. This for the change, for the cloud, for the blue, and the flimmering sun, for the may not come. I have that girl of the dream, for the mood, and I pass as the world goes by. Take for the looking up for the eyes, and I can find the hope. This will be the memory for the day, for the memorial. Celebratory. Told. I'm out of my mind. Maybe I'm the nymph. Maybe the uncertain that undoes me, for the fair, for the unkind, for the lesson, for the wonder, for the nature, for the need to be designed, for the grief, for the heart. Joy my even the cups of the flame, but then never die. High for the mouth, for the her mouth. Whence did it came? Blue leaf rose. Is it the beauty for the blush and the smell, for the rose of the love, for the destiny, for the attending of the will, for the wounds and the look, for the frown, for the she can kill, for the desperate love, for the hope and the noble redress. I find that beauty for the rigor, for the excess, and this will be the saliva when we meet for the kiss. I see this for the love. We see this when we must unconfine it. Why they died with the she loop would die together, we'd be buried without for the Valentine, without for the Brian that's pen, without for the luminous eye. And this shall find your sweet name for the nestling lies upon that page. We're avidly for the reader, for the divine, for the talisman, for the you can find the worst, for the maybe the good love, for the trivialist point, for this be the labor, for this be the Gordian, and not for the eye, for the eye, for the art to say. I cannot for that stare, merely for the comprehended, the plot, for the I can find a leaf for this where appearing, I assimilating the soul, for the life, for this be the eloquent words, finding, uttering, in hearing yourself, for the eye could be the synonym for the truth, it would not read the riddle. You do what you, the best you can do, for the eye could be only But for you, for this, I can be the mistress or nothing like that for the sun. For this to be the eyes like coral for the far, for the reading of your lips. I hair to be the wise and wear the word wired for the fine of the half seen for the roses, the damage and mask. This is real for the such roses, see in the cheeks. This will be the perfume for the more, for the life of the smell, for the utterance of the senses, for the mysteries of the reek. This is that for the breath, for the breathing, find the rake, the music, to have your more for the pleasing of the sound. I grant that I never saw the goddess and go. Maybe the mouth of the mistress in the miracle world and tread on the ground for the this to be the heaven for the love, for the rare enough for the believing. False, compare. I can find a pair with duality. Or it was a duo. It was a spiritual for the love to me, for the not to be not for the except that for the seeking, only for the love for her smile. Look up, speak gentle, trick your thoughts, not for the fall in the well. Well, mine enough for the well for the broth of sense. Pleasant and easy in the such day for this to change your never for the world that you're bringing out for the dare pity for the wood. I can find the cheeks this is smearing. Creature that might not find their word to weep. Forget the wheat for the board. Come back for the long for this what's in store. For the love for me, for thy sake, for the evermore, for that you can find the eternity. You're sharing between you for the smell and you'll see we. Wait for the journey for the waters and the stars to be the suffocating for the air for the tempest of the grain. You have that for the water lighting to divide us divine around the sleeping of sleeping sleep speak for the margin. You will find it immediately for the village when you can fire the fire. Or precipitate for the never the incarnation for the never be nothing but the light in the dark again, but the eye can glass between your pillar. Prime when night does touch best with the senses. You are for not to be the senseless. Margin is where you stand, lay I find myself one predicament enough to the falling, and maybe I fell in love. The impact, it was more than silence, gold, the thought for that, the feeling in my mind, the believing it's true for the thoughts of the cure of you, for only if she knew. And a special way for the turn of a terrible day, for the make it better, for the bad goods, and go the way for the this to be the second she says, hey, I find what's astray. Painting the love with words and calm the wind. Tunes of flowers to bring those little buds and caressed by the dew for the sending pretty thoughts, or maybe it was more tangible than that. The completion of what you can find within natural habitat for this to be the divine, the pressing and the heart intertwined for the bliss of this to be the breeze with nothing worth it. You can embrace it with the bell, move for the beam, the dwell, dwell on the dance and the paint the colors of the romance, beauty for the. You are that love language. How do you speak? Faint, flushed upon the cheek with fury for the averted eye. You speak. Downing pulses in your eight emotions. Find the strange to bar from there. Vain channels that disturb the course of dawn when you swift that force. How do you find your love to speak? That love speaks. How does it find avoidance for what you can see? Sudden silence and reserve that when near eye glistens with the unfinished and unasked tear. Used to be the joy for the seam, the counterpart for the fearing. Once you find the names of the greet, it's a godlike guess. Love to speak for the proud spirit you suddenly grow for the making. The resemblance of the fine eyes trace fair. Beyond the face of this be the grace to find the lips of that cuckoo get more disciple for the love to speak. Wild words. Others seem weak enough, it's shrinking of what you can strike with a glance. Swift with the flashing of an eye high enough to deep for the soul stillness. One, this will be your impassioned tide, sweet beat through the throbbing veins in between the shore. The life of the pains of the visibility, the embracing for the convulsive, for the rapture of the kiss of you speak. What do you speak of? Who do you speak to? To where I belong. These words converted to the song, finest left for the tears of the lost and lost. And although I wanted to be for the cannon, for the live that noon, for the snowflake and the sleep, for the love you can find you still for the spirit, beautiful the right. Long to be for the life, for the loss of the life, for the plunge to me deep in the love. To my sense until we be deaf and blind for the sweet together to the city. I can find the kipper in the rushing of the wind. Far off, not even for the day, because you don't know how to say it for the day is long. Be waiting for you for the emptiness of the station of the train. So you can park that for the somewhere else so you can see. Get that sleep out of your eyes and doesn't make them understand the redundancy. Drive for the anguish and the wheel run together for the smoke that can roam for the tone, the divine, the drifting of the choking in the lost heart, for the silhouette for the dissolving of the beach. And you can find the islands of the flickering to the empty distance. And where do you find a second for the deer? Woman, you've gone too far from the wandering mazily over the earth, asking yourself to come back. And would you leave till you hear yourself dying? You want to do something about that, lingering the hunger for the secret. sleep alive. Hunger for the pale stone, for the taking up the heat of your skin, for the over the sovereign, for the over the epic invasion, the heat of the fleeting, the shades of over your lashes, the hungry, enjoy our life for the honey, and not for the heart, but this is the bearing of the ritual. I crave your mouth, your voice, your hair, silent, starving, proud. Through the streets, bread is not nourishment. Dawn disrupts me. I hunt for the liquid measure of your step. Hunger for the sleep life you have. Hands are the color for the savage of a harvest. Hunger for the pale stones in your fingernail. I want to eat your skin for the whole arm and enough for the one that eat the sunbeam for the flame in your lovely body. I find the sovereign notes of your epic faith for the one that eat for the revealing. Shade for your lash. Taste your hunger. Sniffing your twilight. Hunting for you. Have a hot heart for this and be the barons when I can spare. Measures of your step, I miss you. It was not miscalculated for this to be not hard to find the venue for this to be the math. Advice to the girl, worth possessing, quite possessed. That for the laying of the heart, for the young and aging over the deer, for the love, for the truth, for this to be the heart, for the precious stone lay back on that cheek, for the hiding of the tear, for the what it be like a crystal, for the when you're alone, for the gazing of the depth, for the icy stone, for the moon, for the look alone, for the be blessed enough for the one that possessing. Charge yourself for the quite possessed. You are. My heart and in your possession, somewhere I have not traveled, somewhere not for the glad of beyond, maybe for the eyes of your silence, most for the frail, for the gesture, which is enclosed, which you cannot be, because you are not near enough for the slightest to look, for the even enclosed me, for the closing of my eyes, and I can find that was open by the pedal for the pedal, myself over the spring ocean, open over the wish to be the close mind, me, close me, I want to find my life and shut the very beautiful, I can find that for the heart that just be the cloud, imagine snow carry for the everywhere descending, for you can be nothing, but you can receive for the world for the equals, the power for this is quantum physics, only around the perimeter for the find itself lost to this reality. Infinity for the define for the render to get there's the feather for the each breathing. Now I know what it is about you. Close it open to something and over the understanding the voice in the eyes is deeper enough for the all for the roses. And nobody even know where the hands to rain. Who has a slow hand to grab and who has to change? Maybe it was a goal for the loves coming for the warriors. This was the class, the arms and the bigger for the brother with the call. This would be the hero all. This would be the wood, the blazing sun for the road like that person claim the inspired. Sweet for the damp for the limiting, the aiming, the falling night. Down in matters like the word through the dream and the gaze in the strange and bold eye. Wake up to the heart for the sun for the glow for the fountain of your face and the film of your grace. Friend she used to know. She had a dawn, dream that for the coming. Stir her soul for the ocean, stirred by the wild storm, strife. This a brought balm for the heavenly calm. Peace which crowned her life.
My own. Never knew what it would consider. You're always in you now. If you choose not to be in the past, the future, pass it away from anybody remember you spoke to. I found totally named time. If there's anyone to utter that kindly word to you, give that cheerful greeting for the friend of the game. Vanished after the throne, you came the rest along the way. For this to be the mighty, for grateful the deed, for the did what you do today, for the say the night, for the parting with the day, for the sleeping fast enough to help the violent brother, the passing, the rejoicing over what you said. Hopes were fading now for the courage to look. Wasted day for the loser, well enough for the sorely spent for the trial, for the kindness and the scar, for discontent, for you can find the slumbering for the ways that you think, well, but God say for the earning one more tomorrow, and if you would do it today, did it. Be the place and time you permitted. Finding emptiness and after the note, the oblivious, the obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious and some thrive in the comedy for the declaring lies and theirs to live for the truth, profanity for the claim. They live their reality for the varieties of this game time. Confused views and light, dark heart blaze, bright, find purple, blue, white, sail the ball, 7 seas and stop the train. One to the world for the yet to come a man for the time back up, find them, the maybe gently, proceeded into the shame. Everything's different. Features your job, love to think. Quiet for the different thoughts of lines, side by side, you can find the occasion and success that's born and die. Mind in ways you differ with the major root. You can find the same for the note for the oblivious, and maybe the obvious differences between you for the starting your engine for the more for the light for the disability and the light for the disability, or more than we can find the start. Drive your ambition. Steer clear. Pursue your happiness. And yourself, the bed for the pole. Live God's made me for the humble soul for the clutch of your circumstance. I'm not winch for the cry, for the lie, for the underbelonging, for the chance to have the head is bloody, for the unbound. Beyond the place of the ride, for the tear, for the lose of your hope, for the shape, for the menace of the year, for the find the shades of this and shall find me unafraid, for the matter, for the not to be straight to the gate, for the chart, for the punishment of the scroll, for the masters of my faith, for the I can count for my soul. There we belong. Find an elegy in that song. It's written up, written used to be the sweet manifold, the pure law, the ring, slightly died, the cause of ancient forms apart, find the strife, faith, the physical, trying to time for more to run. For the narrowing and lust, the riches of the valley, the man for the large heart, for the kindly enough, for the ring of the darkness of the land, who finds Christ is to be in, crucified, resurrected through me, so I may live through him. Twisted lies. I don't need to be right. I don't need to be right. I don't need to get right to stand in my own. Always in the now. Choose not to be in the past. Pass it away from anybody remember you spoke. I felt totally named time. There's anyone to utter that kind of words. Give that cheerful greeting for the friend who came. Me right. I vanished after the throng and came to rest along the way. Just to be the minded for great for the deed for the did what you do for the day for the sake of the night for the party with the day for the sleep fast enough to have the violent brother the passing with the choice of over what you said. Hopes were fading out of the courage of the wasted day for losing. What enough for the sword to spin for the trial with the kind of thing scarred with this contempt. If you can find a slumber for the ways you think. But God save for the earning one more tomorrow. Left you do today you did it. Need to be right. Place of time you committed. Need to be right. Finding influence and after the note the oblivious. The obvious differences in the human family. Some of us are serious and some thrive in the comedy for the declaring lives and theirs to live for true profanity for the claim. They really live their reality for the varieties of their skin and tones. Confused to be used in light and not depart the base, blind to find the purple, blue, the white, for the sailed upon the seven seas to stop the land. Oneness of the world for the yet to come a man, for the time that I find that for the marriage and for you can see it in the two, rid of the shame, never twins, different. Features your job, love to think. Quiet for the different thoughts and lines, side by side, for you can find an engagement in the moment. Success of that for the born and dying. Mind in ways you differ for the major review. You can find the same for the no for the oblivious. Maybe the obvious differences between you for the starting your engine for the more for the light for the disability, the unlike for the disability, or more of them we can find the stuff. Drive your ambition. Steer clear. Pursue your happiness. Fly yourself the bed for the pole. God's made me for the humble soul for the clutch of your circumstance.